Welcome to our lecture on the chestnut as the base coat color of horses. This presentation shall talk about the shades of chestnut horses, the chestnut horse gene inheritance, and the horses having the chestnut color. The chestnut horses are also known as the red horse, and they have a reddish to brown color coat with an absolute absence of the black hairs. The mane and the tail are the same color as the body or lighter, and they have a dark brown eyes and black skin. So this is a diagram of chestnut horse having again an absolute absence of the black hairs and a reddish to brown coat color. For the shades of the chestnut horses, so the chestnut has a wide range of shades, and some chestnut horses have a very light red coats, while others exhibit a much darker coloration. Collectively, all these colors are called red, but different terms are used to describe these shades. So the examples of the shades of the chestnut include the sandy, the red chestnut or the sorrel, and the liver or the black chestnut. So other terms can also be used, and also the range of shade is not limited to the three in this picture. This is just to give an idea about how extreme the variation can be for the chestnut horses. So let's start with the first shade of the chestnut horse, and that is the light chestnut or the sandy chestnut. So this is considered to be the second most common chestnut shade and is a very pale red or strawberry blonde in color, shown in this photo. The mane and the tail ranges from darker than coat color to blonde. They can be mistaken for a palomino when accompanied by a blonde mane and tail. So on the next slide, we can show the palomino horse. But this is the typical color of the light chestnut or the sandy chestnut. So the light shade of the chestnut is usually mistaken for the palomino horse. So the distinctive palomino coloring consists of a golden coat and a white mane and a white tail. And of course, this is different from that of the light shade of the chestnut. Genetically, this color is created by a single allele of cream dilution gene. And we also have here, of course, the red or the chestnut as the base coat. This coloring or this color is not rare, but is considered to be highly desirable. So another shade of the chestnut horse is the red chestnut or the sorrel. This is considered to be the most common shade of chestnut and ranges from bold red to a more toned down copper color. The mane and the tail color also ranges from very light to very dark, shown in this photo. Also have the liver or the black chestnut. This is the least common of the chestnut shades and is the very dark reddish, characterized now as a very dark reddish brown, as seen in this horse. So sometimes it is simply called as brown, and the liver chestnut can be confused with silver dapple if accompanied by a flaxen mane and tail, or fading black when accompanied by a dark mane and tail. So this is the photo of a horse that has a characteristic liver or black chestnut coat color. Of the chestnut horses have a characteristic flaxen trait. So what is this flaxen trait? Chestnut horses of any shade may present the flaxen trait. This trait is characterized by the mane and the tail being noticeably lighter than the body coat color, often a blonde shade, as shown in this horse. So this horse, the Haflinger horse, has a characteristic flaxen trait. So certain horse breeds, such as the Haflinger, always carry the flaxen chestnut coloration. So the flaxen trait is probably caused by a genetic mechanism that affects the red pigment produced by the chestnut horses, but it does not affect the black pigment existing in other horses, such as the black and the bay horses. This diagram shows the effect of the flaxen trait on the three main shades of the chestnut horses. So again, we have three main shades. We have the sandy or the light. We have the red, no, or the sorrel, and the black, no, or the liver chestnut. So this is the flaxen sandy chestnut, now as shown in this horse with a lighter mane and tail coloration. We also have the flaxen chestnut as characterized by the mane of the tail, and the same is true for the black chestnut, the flaxen black chestnut, as characterized by the mane and the tail. In this slide, we are going to show the gene inheritance of the chestnut horse. The production of a red coat or a chestnut coat is only possible when the dominant allele of the extension gene is switched off or absent. In other words, when the horse has only the recessive allele present, no, so it produces the chestnut horse. So as we can see in the Punnett square, the mating of the two red horses can only produce red foals. So we can only produce a chestnut when the genotype is homozygous recessive. So we have here, when we are going to cross now our homozygous recessive to that of another homozygous recessive. So that is the only time that a chestnut horse or a red horse can be produced. Breeds of horses have a chestnut color. So the chestnut is considered to be a very common color and can be seen in almost every breed of horse. So examples of some breeds of horse having a chestnut color include the Suffolk Punch and the Half-Lyncher. And these two are considered to be exclusively chestnut horses. So this is the Suffolk horse and the Half-Lyncher horse. So they are considered to be exclusively chestnut.